We are starting with and looking at study unit 6. So we basically in the previous sessions have looked at discrete probabilities, and today we start with continuous probability. So we will start looking at your normal distribution, and then on Thursday we will look at nearly the normal distribution, but from a sample distribution. Um, but tonight we're only focusing on study unit 6. So basically going into just your normal distribution. Okay, so again, going to go through a few of exercises. So again, a mix of um, some definitions, and then some of that we need to work out. So it might be that we need to work out a Z value, might be that we need to go further, use the Z to get to a probability, but all of that we will look at tonight. And then also there's one or two questions that was from previous assignments and mock exams that ask it a bit differently. So we might get a X and or the mean and need to work out the Z, or we need to work out the total sample size or something like that. So towards the end, I've included one or two questions that are quite different from the ones that is in your study guide and in the extra study guide and things like that. Okay, so first one is looking at the nearly definition of a normal distribution. So let's quickly just look at the options. So which one of the following statements is incorrect? So that again, important with regard to the normal probability distribution. So normal probability distribution, so the first option, the Z score of a mean of a normal probability distribution is 1. Okay, so let's quickly, normal distribution, and sometimes you guys have seen something like this. When something is normally distributed, the mean is 0 and the variance is 1. Okay, so the Z score of a mean of normal probability distribution is 1 is the incorrect one. So it should be equal to 0. And the variance is equal to 1. Okay, so that will be the incorrect one, but let's just look at the others. The smaller the value of the standard deviation, the narrower and steeper the curve. Okay, so let's try and draw it here. So, and this is somewhere in your study guide as well. So when we have, let me just, there's some problems with, so let me just quickly see if a different color will work a bit better. Okay, so when we look at your normal distribution, if we have standard deviation of 1, so let's see, the smaller the value of a standard deviation, the narrower the steep and steeper the curve. So let's say this is standard deviation of 3. Then if we do a standard deviation of 2, it will look something like that. And then if we do a standard deviation 1, it will look something like that. Okay, so basically the smaller the value of the standard deviation, the steeper your curve will be. And I'll show you when we look at some examples or some of the other work, other questions later on, more in a practical way to look at this as well. The mean of a normal distribution can be any numeric value, negative, 0, or positive. That is correct. So the mean can really be any value. The area to the right of the mean of a standard normal distribution. So if this is a standard normal distribution, the area to the right, 0.5, and the area to the left, 0.5. So that we also know out of the definition is correct. And then the last one, 95.4% of the values of a normal distribution are within plus minus 2 standard deviations. That's also correct. That's in your textbook. They normally have where you look at 3 standard deviations. Then it is around 64.5%. 2 standard deviations is around 95%. And if you look at plus minus 1 standard deviation, you look around the 99% level. Okay, that's why also you will see when we look at 3 standard deviations, 2 standard deviations, and 3 standard deviation or 1 standard deviation, that's why there's a change in the shape of the curve as well. So basically, this option E and option B is linked to one another as well. So they could have said to you, 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations means that the steeper the curve at 1 standard deviation versus 3 standard deviations or something like that. So instead of just saying the smaller value of standard deviation, they could have linked it to some of the percentages as well. But this, where it says 95.4 is 2 standards, 1 standard deviation is around 99, and 3 standard deviations is around, I think, 64%. That is part of in your study guide as well, that is set out. Okay, but very definition. So it talks about if you know what the normal probability is, a bit of the symmetry in the normal distribution of half is to the left, half is to the right, total is equal to 1. So that's a bit of the definitions coming out, the theory of the study unit. Then we go into nearly the next step is by giving you Z values. So we don't need to work out a Z value, but they want us to look at when you have a Z value, if you can use the Z table, some of these, it might not be needed to use the Z table, but let's play around with it a bit. So let's look at what they tell us. Before we start even looking at the Z table, let's nearly draw what they say. So what is the probability that Z is bigger or equal to minus 2.8? So they want to know what is this probability. Okay. And when they say, is this probability equal to 1 minus the probability of Z bigger or equal to 2.8. Okay, so there's the 2.8. So if they say 1 minus this small probability, we are actually looking at this probability. So they want to know, is this probability and this probability the same size? And yes, it is. So we know plus 2.7 on this side, minus 2.7, it's symmetry, so it is the same. Because they said 1 minus, we are actually looking at the same area. So that is correct. So we can go to the Z table. We can go and look at what is the value of minus 2.8. We can go and work out the value of 1 minus the probability of 2.8. But we can sketch it out as well. Okay, so again, want to sketch out the next one. So what is the probability that Z is smaller or equal to minus 2.1? So again, minus 2.1 is on the left side of, here they're asking us smaller or equal to, so we're looking at this small area. So they ask us, is that the same as the probability where Z is positive and bigger than 2.1? Okay, so again, symmetry, minus 2.1, 2.1. We're looking here at the same area. So yes, they are similar in probabilities. And now we come to one that we probably need to work out. So let's just say that is A, that is B. So let's put in C here. What is the probability? And let's just put that we know where the 0 is always in the middle. What's the probability that the Z is smaller than 0? Let me just so smaller than 0, but bigger than minus 2.8. Okay, so minus 2.8. So we want to know what is that area. Okay, so unfortunately with this one, we will need to go to your Z table. So there's now nothing that we can do about it. So there's a few ways that we can do that. So let me just quickly get to the Z table. Let me just, where have I saved that now? Okay, so here we go. Just check. Okay. Okay. And so first you guys can now see, and let's just see where I can. Okay. So this is, so if there's minus 2.8 there, we can get this area. So let's check minus 2.8. Is that 0,0026. 0, so that area 0,0026. Okay, so that doesn't help me yet because I'm looking for the area in red. We know from the previous question, to the left of 0, we have 0, that whole area 0.5. So if we say 0.5 minus 0.0026, which is that area, that we will get the area that we're looking for. So that will be 0,4974, which is the answer that we're looking for. Okay, if we used the positive table, then just check. So we would have gotten from the positive table would have been 2.8 here. So then it becomes difficult because the positive table includes, let me just, includes this whole area. So you still sit with, you're not 100% sure. So now you might have said, okay, positive table, I can still work out this probability. So from a positive table, let's just quickly do it and then I'll go to the hand. So from a positive table, we could have gone to plus 2.8. So 0.9974. 0.9974. And then what we needed to do was subtract the 0.5. And that would have also given us 0.4974. But this is for me a much more difficult way to get to the answer because now you need to see that this area is the same area and things like that, where this method 1 is for me an easier way than this method 2. Okay, it's just visually it makes more sense to go this route. We know half is 0.5 at 0, sorry, left of 0 is 0.5. if we know that small area, we subtract it from 0.5, we get the 0.4974. Okay, cool. There's a hand. You can please ask.
Oh, good day, sir.
Yes,
I had muted. So I have two questions. The
yes.
first one is, are we going to be presented the Z table in the exam? And then the second question is that please explain that 0.5 that we have to remove every time. I didn't get that when you did.
Okay. So you guys will not get the table in the exam because you already have it. So they're not going to send, or remember, exam is online, so you will have the tables from your study guides and things like that because it's open book, so you will have that. So make sure that, and I will share this study guide one, the 101. I will share that with you guys on the WhatsApp group when you have it as well, because again, it's easier to have all of these tables in one than to now use your study guide and page through the study guide to get to when you need to use the different tables. So I will share that on the WhatsApp group again. Um, okay, so let's quickly. So when we look at the normal distribution, the one thing about the normal distribution where z is equal to 0, it is in the middle of that distribution. So probability to the left of that is equal to 0.5. The probability to the right of that is 0.5, so that everything adds always up to 1. Okay, so that is then the way that on the other question we could then say, okay, if I need to get the answer that is smaller than 0, but bigger than minus 2.8, I need to get that area. So that is what my final answer needs to be. Okay, so we know that this whole area is 0.5. So then I can say 0.5 minus whatever is this small area going to be will be my answer. So always with the normal distribution, it means that you have symmetry. So if my z is minus 1 and my z is 1, this area and that area will always be the same size. That is just how the normal distribution works. So whenever it's a minus and you go to the positive side, those areas are always the same. Okay, does that help a bit?
Yeah, all right, sir. I got that. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, so then probably the most difficult one to work out is D, because what we have in D, and the reason why I say it's difficult is because it's just a bit of taking a bit more time than the other ones. So here they say Z smaller or equal to 2.1. Okay, so smaller than 2.1, but bigger than minus 2.8. Okay, so they want this area. So they basically want us to work out what is this area in green. Okay, so now one can do it a few ways. The way I would look at it is to say, okay, we know that this total area is always, the probability is always equal to 1. So I will start off to say that whole area, and let's now color code this a bit. Let's just get, okay, so this whole area, the blue area, is 1. Okay, we want to get, our final answer needs to be the green area. Okay, that is our final answer. So what we will subtract is this, let's say that's the orange area. The orange area we now have already seen in the previous one is 0,0026. And then also what we need to subtract, and let's make it light blue, is this light blue area. So that's another one that we need to subtract. We have not, so if we did question B, we probably would have gotten what that is, but we haven't looked at pure numbers. So let's go to minus 2.1. We see it is 0,0179. So that area that we're subtracting is 0,0719. Okay, so if we do that, we will then get my answer that I'm looking for in green. So let's quickly check 1 minus, I just want to get to my calculator, 1 minus 0.0026 gives us the 9974 that we previously had there, but then minus the blue component, so minus 0.00, wait, 0.0719. Let me just check again. 0179. 0179. Okay, that will definitely give us a different answer. So 0179. Okay, let me just quickly redo that. 1 minus 0.0026 minus 0.0179. And that answer then is 0.9795, which is correct. Okay, so it took a bit of time, but for me, it's easier to do it this way, to say, okay, we know the whole area underneath a normal curve always equal to 1. Then if we take away the one part, we take away the other part, we will have this middle section that we need for the answer. Okay, so, but again, it does take time, because now you need to work out both of them and remember to subtract it from the bigger set of 1. And then they give us another one, the last one. I'm going to squeeze it in here. So they say small or bigger. So there's 0, bigger than that, but smaller than 2.1. Okay, so basically the same that we did in option C, we know to the right side of 0, it's not 0.5. So that whole area 0.5. But then if we want to subtract this blue area, and we now know the blue area is for 2.1, so it is 0.0179. So if we subtract that, we will get our green area. So 0.5 minus 0.0179, that gives us 0.4821. That is then the incorrect one, option E. Okay, so unfortunately, we needed to go through everything to get to the one that is incorrect. And what makes a question like this also a bit difficult is you can't always see which one is the incorrect one. So especially a question like this. We'll look at some of the other questions, and then there's things that is easier to eliminate. But a question like this is very difficult to really see if there's something that is wrong. And that for me is always with these ones the difficult component, because it does take time to get to the answer that we're looking for. Okay, so this is one where they give you the Z's. You don't need to work out the Z, but in some instances you need to use the Z table. Okay, so then let's go to a question where they give you a bit of information. So here they say, given that Z is a standard normal distribution, what is the value of Z? So let's draw this. Why did it not go there? And you guys will see, it always is for me simpler when I draw the graph to see what they are looking for. Okay, so, and in here they say such that the area to the right of Z is 0.2061. Okay, so here is 0. To the right is to this side. So wherever this Z is, whatever is to the right of this is 0.2061. Okay, so we need to get the Z value. Okay, so that's here they give us the probability, and we will need to get the Z. Okay, so first thing that you guys can see is to the right of 0 will be a positive number. So minus 0.58 can't be. Okay, so because it needs to be a positive number. Okay, 0.82, yes, might be. 0.3 might be. Minus 0.82 can't be because it needs to be a positive number. 0.58 again might be. So again, in the exam, if this is one of those questions where time is running out or something like that, then at least 3 options to guess out of and not 5. Okay, so it does eliminate some of the options that you're looking at. Okay, but how do we get that? So I need to get the small area. So if I want to get the small area, when I look at my graphs, this is what I'm looking for with small area. So even though the small areas on this side, again, from symmetry, I know that if on this side is 0, what was it, 20 something, it will be the same on the other side. So I'm going to look for 0.2061, 0.2061. So I'm going to look for 0.2061 in these numbers. Okay, so let's now just scroll down. 0.2, so that is not 0.10. Okay, so here we get to 0.2. Okay, wait, 0.2, not 0.02. Okay, so 0.21, 0.20. Ah, yeah, 0.2061, and we're sitting with 0.82. So remember what we now did was looking at the negative 0.82, and it was that side. So if you used that negative table, there would have been an answer for you, but they asking us the value that the area to the right. So just remember, we're looking at the area to the right. So it is a positive 0.82, and that is then option B. Okay, so again, what might happen in the exams, we know for each question there's 2 or 3 different question options or a set of questions. So it might be that for one of the questions, it is to the right. One of the questions might be the area to the left, so that some of you guys need to say positive, some of you guys need to say negative. But that's why, again, for me, draw it out, then you can see positive, it needs to be to the right side. And then you know if you can eliminate some of the options. Okay, another one like that nearly, but again, let's see what we need to. So now consider normal random variable. Now we go into the formula. So we haven't looked at the formula yet. So in study unit 6, because we're looking at normal distributions that's not of a sample, so we're not saying there's a sample involved. We use this as our standard formula that we will use. So we need to calculate the probability that the random value is at most. So work out the probability that Z is at most. At most means that it can't be more than that. It's at most that, so smaller or equal to 3,800. Okay, so now we can add the rest of the information. They told us the mean is 3,000. Standard deviation is 1,800. Okay, so they want us to work out what's the probability that Z is smaller or equal, and let's go to the calculator again. 3,800 minus 3,000 is 800. 800 divided by 1,800 is 0.44 continuous. Luckily, not one of the answers here is 0.44, but sometimes they do throw that into the answer set so that it might be that you then select that before you select and go to the probabilities. Okay, so let's look at the answers. So we again know in the middle is 0. This one is just a tad more than 0, so 0.44. So a few things we can again assume. So at 0, we know that to the left of this, we have 0.5. Okay, so if we want to work out what's the area smaller than 0.44, we know at least it is a bit more than 0.5. So we can look at this and say, okay, that is more than 0.5. Okay, that is not more than 0.5, so B is not the option. Not more than 0.5, so not the option. Not more than 0.5, not the option. 0.86 is more than 0.5. So again, eliminated 3 of them just because we could see on the picture that it needs to be just a bit more than 0.5. So then just a bit more, probably rather 0.67 than 0.8665, but let's go to the table. So let's see, we want to get this whole area, so let's look at this one is smaller than the 0, so we don't really want to use this table. This one is it's bigger than 0, so this one is the one that we want to use. We want to use Z 0.44. 0.44, and let's just see if I can make that a bit bigger. So 0.44, we can see is 0.67. So if we go back, look at the two options, and 0.67 is what we're looking for. Okay, but just want to quickly go back. So we started off with just the theory side. Then we went into they giving us the Z values, and we then needed to see if we can work it out without the table or if we go directly to the table. Then they started to look at if we understand how the Z and the probabilities is interlinked so that you can use the table the other way around as well. And when we go into basically, you need to use the Z formula to get the Z, then from the Z, go and work out the probability. Okay, so that is nearly, you can see that with this, we are covering all of the options that they can ask you in the exam. So once again, most likely what we need to do here is we most likely need to get a Z, and from there we need to get to the probability. So let's read what they give us. Upon conducting further research, the education department found that learners' travel time from home to school at one of a remote rural school is normally distributed. with a mean of 114. Okay, so we already know the mean is 114. Standard deviation of 72, because we have this formula. What is the probability that the learner's travel time from home to school is less than 100 minutes? So let's write that out. What's the probability that the learner's time is less than 100 minutes? Okay, so that's basically what they are asking us. So what's the probability that the Z is less than? So let's again look at this. 100 minus 114 gives us a negative number. So it's minus 14 divided by 72. Oh, gives us a weird number. Minus 0.19. Okay. So let's, okay, we've got the 0 there. They tell us smaller than minus 0.19. So minus 0.19 is just to the left of it. And we want smaller than that. Okay, so now, like we did in the previous question, let's draw. So at the 0 point, we know to the left is 0.5. Here we have again a piece that we're going to take away from a 0.5 to get to that. So this tells me now that we are looking at the answer that is smaller than 0.5. So yes, option A might be, option B, no, because it's bigger than 0.5. Option C, no, bigger than 0.5. Option D might be, it's smaller. Option E, no. So once again, we've eliminated 3 of the options just because of this sketch and just doing this bit. So we haven't done all of it yet. So now we want to get this area, so we can go to negative 0.19. That is the higher ones, 0.19. So 0.4247. 0.4247. Sure. Okay, let's just see if that is somewhere. 4247. Okay, not there. Oh, okay. 4247. Okay, so once again, just a bit of elimination and then following the same process nearly. Get the Z, use the Z table, go to the probability, but first, again, drawing it to just make it a bit easier for yourself. Okay, because then one can eliminate some of the options. Okay, so next one, a bit different. So let's read this one. Consider again the findings of a school. Normally distributed means we can work with this formula. With a mean of 114, great. So I can already put in 114 there. And a standard deviation of 72, so it was exactly the same as the previous. An education consultant has recommended no more than a certain minutes of learners' travel time to school. No more than. More than is bigger, so more than. If a department would like to ensure that 15.15% of learners adhere to the recommendation, what is the recommended travel time? And so this is slightly different. So education consultant has recommended no more than. Oh, wait. No more than. And more than would have been more than, but no more than. Sure, they could have just said to us less than instead of no more than. That would have totally, with English not being my first language, not great how this was phrased. But when I say we actually have something here, so smaller than, what we want to say is this Z, whatever that is, this area must be 15.15%. And so if we just make it to decimals, 0.1515. So we are going to look, and I want to get to a Z because we want to get to the Z so that we can work out what the X is. Okay, so 0.1515, 0.1515, so we need to go down, 151514, 1515. To see if I can thicken this. Okay, there's no worse. I can, there. Cool. There's 1515. So it is minus 1.0. Let's look at what is here at the top. Minus 1.03. Okay, so the Z is minus 1.03, which is then equal to X minus 114 divided by 72. So now we're actually getting to not stats anymore, but just a math equation. So get rid of a 72. So we're going to multiply on both sides with 72. So 1.03 negative times 72. So minus 74.16 on the left-hand side is equal to X minus 114. Then taking the minus 114 over to the left-hand side, it becomes plus 114. So X is equal to 59.84. Okay, so let's just see. It's approximately 30 minutes. No, it's closer to 40, approximately 50. Okay, depending on where we're going with the rest. Okay, approximately 40. So that is, the closest is to 40, not 60, not 20. Okay, so different question, but we used the Z with a probability to get the Z, then we used this formula to, in the end, get the X that we're looking for. Just to be honest, I hate this. I will ask this no more than, because you guys saw at the beginning I was more than, I had the big O equal to, and just by adding the no, it now swaps around. So not great that it's structured in this way. So I will just ask the lecturer a bit about some of the type of wording and things, because I know it has changed since these things were, so they are trying to make it a bit simpler in wording and not confused, because again, this would have had me confused with just the wording. Okay, so again, one of those that is a bit different. So we're still working here with normally distribution. So again, it is the Z X minus the mean divided by standard deviation. So let's see what they give us and what they ask. So the EQ score of high school learners is normally distributed with a mean of 80. So we know we've got a mean of 80, standard deviation of 20. If there were 2,969 learners with scores higher than 95. Okay, so probability of scores higher than 95. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to work out. What's the probability of scores higher than 95? Okay, so if we work that out, again, 95 minus 80, where's my calculator? 95 minus 80 to get the top is 15. 15 divided by 20 is 0.75. So we want to work out what's the probability of this. The probability that Z is bigger or equal to 0.75. And so we want to work out that area. So this area, we could have said, go to the negative table and see what minus 0.75 is. So let's do that. Minus 0.75. Let's just make it a bit smaller, different color. Minus 0.75. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 0.2266. And so this area is 0.2266. But what else do they give us? They tell us that this area that we're looking at, it also accounts for 2,969 students. And they want us to work out how many students were in this group. Okay, so if this is 2,969. We want to know how many students are in the whole group. Okay, so the easiest to work that out, again, I'm just going to show two things. So if it was 100%, we want to know how big it is. At the moment, we've got 0.2266% or 22.66%. That is equal to 2,969. So to get to 100%, divide on both sides with 2266. To get to the full answer of all the students in the class, not just the ones that are getting 95% and higher, all of the class. So 0.2969 divided by 0.2269 gives us 13,085.06. Okay, so again, probably depending on if you said 2 to 7, depending how you're rounding off, but they say again how many students, so which one is closest? 155, no. 10, too small. 13, okay, that one is very close. So I just want to check if we said 2,969 divided by 0.23. No, so if we said divided by 0.227, then it also gets a bit smaller. So it's probably just, I just want to make sure it's 1995.2266. Did I get that one all right there? It was 0.8. 0.-75. Yeah, so that was all fine. Okay, so a bit of rounding off, but the closest is approximately 13102. Again, that one is way too small. Also way too small. So the one that we are looking for is option 3. So again, quite different from where we started off tonight with getting a Z and going to the probability, to now nearly, yes, we have a Z because we've worked it out. So what we normally would do is to say, there's the Z, work out the probability. Great, the probability is 0.2266, and that is what we will normally. So this is now the first time nearly where they bring it back to say, okay, you now worked out that piece. That piece is so many students. So if 2,969 students are getting 95 or more, how many students are in the class? Okay, so it is a bit of a different type of question, but I think, again, when I share this later tonight, it will be good for you guys to go through the process again and look at it and see if you can also do it. Okay, so that is it for study unit 6 for tonight, everyone. It's basically, we've gone through all the different ones that that you can get. That's why I wanted to show these last two, because sometimes you get all these other ones in assignments, and then you get this weird ones in the exam. But yeah, now we've covered these two weird ones as well. And it is very similar to what you would have done. Here, all that's different is it's just taking you one step more. So the whole process is exactly the same to get the Z, get the P or the probability, exactly the same how we would normally do it. But there's one step extra. And that is sometimes where one gets in the exam and you're like, okay, but I know how to do this, but sure, none of those seems like something to do with probability. And then you just, in a sense, totally lost. Um, and unfortunately, with a question like this, it's you don't get marks for anything that you've worked out. So if you're stuck here at 0.2266 and don't have a clue what to do, unfortunately, there's nothing that nearly you get marks for. Um, so that's why I thought it's important just to show some of these more difficult ones for out of ordinary questions that you guys have sight of that as well. Okay, cool. So that is it for tonight, everyone. On Thursday at 5:30, we will continue with study unit 7. So study unit 7 is now just again taking this part, and instead of looking at the total normal distribution that we're not worried about sampling, study unit 7 brings in sampling. So the only thing that will become different is our formula in study unit 7 will just get the sample component. So that's the only difference between study unit 6 and 7, is that in study unit 7, we bring in the sampling. Okay, so we will do that on Thursday evening. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. I know it is starting to get crunch time with all your subjects and things like that. So thanks for joining, and then we will see you again on Thursday evening. Cool, everyone. Cheers.